Lights, camera, review.
Black Sheep rolled into theaters in 1996. Mike Donnelly's older brother is running for governor. Mike wants to help, but he is clumsy with a capital C. An assistant is hired to look out for Mike, which results in more chaos leading up to the election. Black Sheep was the first Chris Farley movie I ever watched, and originally I only gave it a 100-word review because I thought it was your senseless comedy. Now that I have researched more about the film and Farley's short-lived career, this film has a new impact on me. I have become a fan of the late Chris Farley. His kind-hearted nature was one of my favorite traits, and it shows through in all of his performances. Farley was a natural at comedy, but his dramatic abilities were overshadowed. Compared to Tommy Boy, Farley has somewhat of a more dramatic performance as Mike. Scenes that recognize this were packing up the rec center and a serious conversation with his brother. I noticed even when Farley showed distaste for his roles, he still gave a genuine performance. Farley originally passed on Black Sheep twice because he wasn't fond of the script. The film contains most of Farley's usual routine, being loud, running into things, and fatty falls down, as Farley called it. Sadly, Farley was so upset by the final product that he relapsed into drinking. Farley and David Spade were the dynamic duo of the 90s. As their second film to share the big screen, their chemistry and never-ending name-calling are hilarious. I can't stop watching the scene where they battle against a bat. Spade fought for a bigger part in the movie. His scenes are reduced to mere scrappy moments where he could have been used more in a scene. No movie goes without a supporting cast. Credits include Tim Matheson, Christine Ebersole, Gary Busey, Grant Heslov, and Timothy Carhart. Some may recognize David St. James as a gullible cop before his days as the hot-headed Mr. Howard on iCarly. No small part ever goes unnoticed. The sibling relationship between Mike and Al, played by Tim Matheson, is so endearing. One thing about Farley's movies is how they depicted positive relationships. Robbie's Kindness is another example, played by Grant Heslov. The storyline between Mike and his young student, Scott Caleri, played by Michael Patrick Carter, deserved a larger arc. However, tensions rose during filming. There were creative disputes between Farley, Spade, and director Penelope Spheeris. After reading about Spheeris' direction and opinions, she wasn't the right person to direct this film. She actually told Spade that she didn't think he was funny and disregarded the dynamic between Farley and Spade from Tommy Boy. After watching Black Sheep a couple of more times from my initial watch, I liked the comedy more. It finds its own chaotic rhythm. This is the type of comedy that we don't see anymore. Comedy doesn't have to be consistent. Scenes sometimes feel stitched together rather than organically connected. The comedy is repetitive and goes on too long. I did like the comical instrumental music additions in the bat scene and Farley's hill tumble. As the story goes, writer Fred Wolf had to meet a demanding deadline to hand the script into Paramount. Not much happens in scenes. If you start watching any clip, the film looks like a camping trip gone wrong between Farley and Spade. Black Sheep has become a guilty pleasure for me. Comedies make great medicine, and this film is fun to watch. It carries Chris Farley's legacy. What is your favorite Chris Farley moment? Films treasure actors who have passed on. Have you ever heard of the film Palms? Let's celebrate the life of Diane Keaton with my next review. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel or to my Patreon. My name is Marielle, and this has been another one of my movie reviews.